And how are you?
Good.
We are a little overdue for this. Been a few weeks.
Well, listen, I've been ready since 9:45, so it's only been 45 minutes. I've been sitting here waiting for you, but I'm not gonna have a hissy fit over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I make this place a little bit quieter. Oh, what's that?
So how's Joe doing?
Joe's doing terrific. He said to me, Joe lives in JB and the Retro Riders, Southern California, and I heard about all these side yard gigs. And he goes, "I'm going to be out in the end of October. Please do another side yard gig because I'd love to hear the band." This is like September 1st. I said October 23rd. It could be 60 degrees. It could be 30 degrees. So we decided to look at the weather and promote it. And apparently it's going to be 60 degrees. It's sunny. It's it's unbelievable how this fell together for this time of year.
Nice.
He flew in Thursday night. We've been having some fun, and we got a gig to set. We moved it back to 1 to 4 just to try to optimize daylight and warmth. But got a good afternoon planned. We've been jamming with a keyboard player, so he's joining us for 6 or 7 songs today.
Oh yeah.
Cool with that.
So talking about hissy fit, while I was in Virginia,
Yes.
there was a kid at a restaurant that was not behaving right, but they don't do it the new fashion way where they take him to a psychologist and give him drugs or whatever. His mother was she was able to open his chakra, stabilize his karma, and clean his aura with one quick slap.
You're a little late on that rim shot.
Yeah, I couldn't find the button.
Oh, that's funny.
So now what's Joe doing right now while we're doing this? Is he sitting around doing nothing?
We literally just walked in the door, and he around the corner, there's this gym I never go to, but it's a big franchise. And he's a member of this gym in California. He's going off to have a run on the treadmill.
Okay, so that's good.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if he was sitting there doing nothing, he could join us.
Well, there was that talk, too, about having him crash the podcast. You know what he did join me doing? I hate that I just used the word crash, but I had a flying lesson yesterday on my quest to become a certified pilot. And my instructor, I told him my friend was going to be in town. He says, "Bring him along. You can jump in the back seat and put a headset on." And so this had been planned for some time. And so I had a couple of running around things to do with Joe yesterday just because he's in town, and I was kind of playing. He was doing a couple of things I wanted to show him. One I'm going to talk about in a second, but go up to the airport for a 2:00 lesson, hopped in the back seat, my instructor and I, and we were in the air for 1.4 hours.
Wow.
Monumental day for me yesterday. On the firsthand, I just went over 10 hours in my pilot logbook, 10.4 hours, which has probably been a total of eight or 9 flights to accumulate that 10 hours. And it took that long to finally yesterday, I got past a lot of anxiety I normally have, and I was really feeling pretty comfortable. I was doing most of the flying. I took off, and I don't think the instructor did anything for 40 minutes in. And then we actually went to a new airport. I'm in Pittsburgh. We flew out to Orange, 20 miles just to land in a new spot and take back off. And we actually landed there. We did a go around, then we landed, taxied around, full stop, and took off again. Orange is a small little airport where they have parachuters. So he had to call ahead on the communication frequency. All the pilots are on saying, "Are there any parachuters going on?" And so you have to see how much goes on. But I felt really confident and helped with a landing, and it was a great day.
So there was a guy that was a parachuter, and he was already at that point where they were doing like the free fall.
Yeah.
So he's doing a free fall, and he's enjoying it and stuff. And then when it was time for him to pull the cord, he started pulling the cord, and the chute wouldn't open. So he's starting to get a little frantic because the ground's coming up pretty quick, and he's like pulling on the cord, and it wouldn't open. And all of a sudden, he sees a guy coming up. As he was going down, he saw a guy coming up. He said to the guy, "Hey, you know anything about parachutes?" And the guy goes, "No, Do you know anything about gas grills? See, there's that thing where you said parachuting. There's a joke that pops up in my mind.
There's a story. There's a true story I heard. I was going to use this in one of my. I am going to use this story in one of my speaking engagements. I don't have it well enough to, but true story. A guy, I think it was in Southern California, who tied a bunch of helium balloons to a lawn chair, get up 100 feet and have some fun, and he went way higher than that.
Oh, really?
As far as I remember, it's a true story. I heard John Maxwell, who was one of my mentors, and my certification for speaking is through John Maxwell, talking about it. I go, that's such a great opener in terms of, expectations when you're starting off on a new project.
So
Expectations. This guy thought he was going to get to 100 feet, and he brought a gun with him to shoot the balloons so he could get down. Crazy.
I was just going to ask, how does he get down? Wow.
Well, pretty soon he was having jet pilots call into, I call it ATC because I'm in that realm, but air traffic control, to say, what the heck is this? I mean, that's how high he goes. I can't imagine how scary that. I mean, this is so funny because I don't like heights. It's the way you define it, because if I'm at 3,000 feet in a plane with a 45-degree bank turn and I'm looking out the window and looking straight down at the land,
yeah.
But I can't do 20 feet high on a ladder. Isn't that weird?
So last week I fell off a 40-foot ladder.
Oh, boy. That's not good.
No, but luckily I was only on the second rung, so I'm okay.
Like I said, once in a while you get me.
But you know how, let's
That's
talk about
funny.
those. Is it? Yeah. You know the thing about popping the balloons with the helium? So one balloon I was just popped was last night, Red Sox, out.
That was a rough one. So
Yeah.
let's talk about this, because these guys squeaked into the playoffs. They did not have a season where they just jumped out to a lead and commanded the division. Every month was a different story. Frankly, honestly, for me as a huge fan, we got to the end of the season, I had no hopes for these guys anywhere. There was a race for the wild card. They had one game playoff against the Yankees to get into to win the wild card slot. So I guess in a sense the Yankees did make the playoffs, but they lost that game. I didn't expect to win that game. And then the winner of that, which was the Sox, had to play Tampa, which, frankly, the best team in the American League.
Yeah, Tampa should have won.
And they just had this nice crescendo, and I see them getting past Tampa Bay, and then I'm like, oh my God. And I'm seeing past Houston to a lead there. And some of the people I listen to on podcasts who really know baseball were talking about Houston's pitching is a shambles and saying stuff like, I don't see how Houston pulls this together. And the Sox just cooled off and dipped down, and they're out just like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. And the Rays probably deserved it more, but they just couldn't pull it off at the.
Yeah, farther out. So the Houston Astros go to the American League. Go to the World Series, represent the American League. The Atlanta Braves are playing the Dodgers tonight. 6th game. Braves are up 3-2, which is so funny because the Dodgers were supposed to have been a team. The Dodgers last year was an abbreviated season, 60 games. The Dodgers were 43-17. And then got way better in the offseason and never led their league the entire time. They squeaked in with a wild card game also, but they won 106 games in the regular season. Now they could be out tonight. The Braves, the weakest team who won their division, they won 88 games all season, but they're at the right time. They can win it all tonight. We'll see.
So you and I haven't talked since the Patriots played against the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
You know what I thought was really cool is that when Tom Brady showed up, everybody was cheering for him. That was so cool. But then as soon as the game started, they started booing for him. And I said, "Yeah, those are the mass holes that I know."
That's Boston, baby.
Yeah, mass holes.
It's an interesting balance for. I was watching it. I mean, I can't not hope good things for Brady. I'm not sure who I was really rooting for in that game, because now it's like you got to love Tom. At least I do. And then he's playing against my home team now. And
yeah.
It reminded me of what Jerry Seinfeld said years ago. Like, it used to be players would play for a team their whole career, and it was this heartfelt thing. And he says, we're just rooting for laundry. Which is pretty funny. Like, what jersey is that guy? They just move around, not a lot, but I like the game went because it wasn't a blowout either way. It was competitive all the way through, and I think everybody could feel pretty good about it when it was over, whether they won or lost.
So, while I was in Virginia, there's a friend up there that a relative of ours that's a big Patriots fan and huge Tom Brady fan. So I said, "What do you think about Tom Brady?" She goes, "Well, listen, I root for my team, not for one player." Boom,
Done.
done. Yeah,
Dead. She might as well said dead to me.
pretty much. Yeah.
I was impressed though because I haven't watched a lot of football this season. And I watched that Tampa Bay game, and Mac Jones, the new Patriot quarterback, impressed me. The team impressed me. That was the first game I saw all season.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So it's hard for me.
Yeah, I thought the team looked good, and Mac Jones is going to be the next Brady.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I can't even imagine the pressure that he's trying to not, succumb to being compared to that. But boy, is he looking good for a young kid, right? What is he, 22 years old?
So I was watching I forget who it was, but it was one of those Comedy Central roasts.
Yeah.
I forget who they're roasting. I think the comic was Nikki Nikki Glaze, I think her name is. Real funny. But
Yeah.
but what's his name?
Oh.
Peyton Manning was on there. And she was, how they say, this one's here, this one's, she says, Peyton Manning's here. I mean, that's not for you guys, that's for him. Peyton, you're here because he's had a lot of concussions. And she said, you know what, you are unbelievable. You're so good at doing those commercials. I mean, you're so good. You're almost like the Tom Brady of commercials. It was funny, actually.
I remember back when he was playing, there was a big rivalry, him and
Yeah.
Brady. And then, of course, I think those guys were good friends. I think the media tried to make it a big thing, So they're asking Brady one day, so what do you think about Peyton? And he said, of course, Tom is not going to do anything bad about anybody.
Right, yeah.
Straight away, he's a gentleman, but he did say, I think he's an actor. He will certainly go down as one of the best, but not the best.
So Terry has some clients up in Virginia, in Charlottesville.
Yeah.
So we took a trip up there, and she did some sessions for some clients, and I had some free time and stuff. So her parents and her sister live in Scottsville, just south of Charlottesville. This place is so cool, except if you're new there, driving there is a trip, man, because the roads are like uphill, downhill, uphill, right, left. It's like, and you think it feels like you should be driving at 35 miles an hour, but the speed limit's 55. And if you're not doing 55, people are beeping the horn and flashing the lights. It's crazy. I mean, it's really intense in the beginning until you get used to it.
Mm.
And then while I was up there, I still have a little bit left, but I think I caught vertigo or something. I don't know if it's because of the roads or something, but one morning I woke up and the room was spinning and I couldn't stand up. I had to hold onto the wall or else I'd fall. And I had to hold onto the walls to go to the bathroom and stuff. And that day I just stayed in bed for a few hours because I couldn't. Even now, from time to time, I get dizzy. But the secret is like things start spinning around. I don't know if you ever had vertigo, but it starts spinning around. The only way to stop it is to hold on to something that's stable, and then it goes away.
Balance. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Wow.
I thought you were lining me up for a good joke, and I'm like, oh no, he's telling me the true story. That's amazing.
It's actually funny. So my niece, we stayed at my niece's place. Her and her boyfriend have a house that's colonial cottage from 1780.
Wow.
And it is so freaking cool, man. It's like in the historic district in Scottsville.
Oh, goodness.
So awesome. Wow.
1780. They get the low doors and stuff because people were little then.
Yeah, but I think at one point somebody put a second floor on it, so it's really, I mean, it's like a 4-bedroom, 2-bath thing. It's really nice. But they kept the colonial.
Yeah.
They've done some things to upgrade the microwave and a stove and all that stuff, but it's really, really awesome.
Wow.
And then I went to the Trump winery.
I saw that picture. It's called the Trump Winery, right? You had a wine tour and tasted some wine.
Yeah, so it's really good wine for non-winers. It's a good wine if you're not a whiner. That's what it is.
I got it.
Yeah.
So there's an H in there somewhere. W-I-N-E or W-H-I-N-E.
Right, right.
A little wine right there. So I'm just looking at my little bar behind me. I wanted to hide that, but there it is.
So on the way up, we stopped off at Charleston, South Carolina, which is a really nice town. Loved it.
That's really cool. Old South Charleston, yeah.
Yeah, then we went to Virginia Beach because Terry went to go to the Edgar Casey Library. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
No.
He was one of those intuitive doctors that was just unbelievable, I guess. And he used to be the doctors for the presidents and all that stuff. So we went to Virginia Beach, which wasn't really my thing. It was more like a city than a town, you know. Especially when you're living in where I live in Florida with all these beautiful beaches. Just didn't do anything for me.
Right.
But on our way back, we stopped at the historic Georgetown in South Carolina. Beautiful, beautiful town, and it's like a big marina there. And so I met some people they travel on their boats from Maine all along the coast and go down there, and they go all the way down to the Keys, Key West, and then to Bahamas, and they do a vlog of the.
Wow.
It's so freaking
That's
cool.
cool.
You know, it's on YouTube.
That's cool.
I was talking to them. I started off with a joke and showing them my pride and joy. Next thing you know, we're talking. It's just really cool couple. Awesome. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Fun times. Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
So I wanted to ask you something about. I could never find that "Save Me from Myself." You know, Joe's band.
Yeah.
I found a bunch of different people that do that song. I don't know if it's the same song or not. But I never saw
it because this is an original from Joe. So.
Oh, okay.
So the band is called JD and the Retro Riders, and the song is "Save Me from Myself." Just YouTube.
I did. If you do, you'll go to YouTube. If you do JD Retro Rider, it doesn't show up. But I saw a bunch of people that do a song named "Save Me from Myself."
I think that might just be a popular name, but it's an original song for them. So
okay.
I'm in my phone. Why am I trying to find? Oh yeah, Phil. Where's Phil? There it is. So let me just do this. Copy, because I have the link in my phone because I just sent it to a friend. Now I just sent it to you. I just texted it to you, so you can watch it after this.
Okay.
Unless you want to watch it now live during the podcast and we can listen and discuss.
Yeah, I can watch it live and then you can make comments about it and stuff. So the other thing that happened to me while I was up there is my Facebook got hacked.
Really?
But whoever did it was so good because they went in and changed the email and the password, and they made it so that if anybody wants to make any changes to it, they have to have a 2FA code, which is a two-form of authentication or something.
Oh.
So when I go in to try to change the password to get in, it asks me for a 2FA code. But the only way to get a 2FA code, as far as I know, is to go into log into Facebook and create one. But I can't log into Facebook because these guys got me blocked out. And I've tried contacting Facebook, so they want me to send them a ID so that they know that it's me. So that they tell me what to do, and they tell me the code to get in, and I go into the code, and it says, because you requested, it says, because you, I didn't request it, the hacker did, but because you requested this 2FA thing, you have to create a code. Like, I can't create a code, so I can't get in.
Because now they think you might be the hacker.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's just so frustrating. And then on the same week, my bank called me, Bank of America, saying, hey, we have some kind of activity that seems to be fraudulent activity on your account. He says, and the group that's doing it is connected to a group in Nigeria that does this, so we're going to have to close your account because we can't risk it. So they closed my account. I've been with them for years and years and years. Now I don't have an account with Bank of America anymore.
Huh.
So it was a tough week for me.
You bounced back.
Vertigo bank account closed, and heck, I can't get into Facebook. So I can't even post this thing on my Facebook thing and promote it. I can't do nothing with it.
You know that means we're going to lose. You know what? I think I know who hacked.
Who?
Joe Rogan.
Oh, he's nervous. Yeah.
So now because you can't post this on your page, we're going to lose viewers. And Joe's like, yes. That bastard.
I think when we fix it, he's going to call us up one day and say, can you guys come out to California and be guests on my podcast? I'll say, I don't know, Joe. Let me think about it, Joe. You've been a pain in my back.
I already thought about it. I'm out.
Yeah. You've been a pain in my back for almost 2 weeks. I'm not going to put up with your bullshit.
These guys, this reminds me of the kind of guys who would slide under your car with a hacksaw and steal your catalytic converter.
Yeah.
This is this kind of mindset.
Which becomes a good
crackhead with a plan. That's not right. Tom?
Wow.
Did I send that to you? I got it recorded on my iPhone. It's not. We're going to play that today, Crackhead. That's one of my new. Oh. Did I send it to you? I'm going to send it to you also, Crackhead.
No.
That's fun.
Sounds like fun. I want to hear it.
So when I knew my friend Joe was coming, Joe is kind of he loves history. I'm not sure I would call him a historian, but there's certain things he just loves. And as you know, he's the biggest Beatles fan I've ever met in my life. We've been best friends since 5th grade because now I became a Beatle fan during the quarantine. So that's fun. History of like the Titanic. And so he called me a while ago and said, I just found out that the youngest, I think they called her a witnessing survivor of the Titanic. Her name was Lillian Asplund. Was 5 years old on the Titanic when it went down. Survived. And she died 15 years ago. She lived in Shrewsbury and she's buried in Worcester. And so I checked the map of the cemetery, and Joe and I went by the cemetery plot. Apparently it's a family plot. So her father and her twin brother died at the Titanic. And we were expecting to kind of find, grave markers with that actual death date of whatever it was, April something, 1912.
Yeah.
And instead, all there is one stone with just the last name. That's it.
Wow.
So there was a cemetery office, and Joe and I went to the office to talk to this woman. Yeah, she really was kind of some term that was not that complimentary, but just to herself.
She was a history blocker.
History blocker. But she was just kind of a private person, didn't want to ever talk about that, and she didn't want any conversations or people visiting. So there's this whole family marker, and it's just one stone with their last name on it. Kind of fascinating. This is and they call her the last witnessing survivor because I think they were saying that she would have some memory of it at 5 years old. Whereas I think there was an infant on the Titanic that also survived that was young, but obviously had no. Think about that event. Like, we complain, you and I complain about all sorts of stuff. You were just complaining. Right? Think about this kind of just people had it harder generations ago.
Wow.
5 years old, you lose your father and your twin brother in the Titanic, and you have that your whole life. You're saddled with that. I wonder how that affected the rest of her life. She never married, no family.
Yeah, but
had an office job in Worcester and is buried in Worcester. Crazy.
You ever hear Bill Burr explain why guys make more money than women?
No.
He says, well, just in case, just so you'll understand, let's say we're both on the Titanic, and the ship's going down. For some reason, you get to get off the boat, and I have to go down with the boat.
Right.
So that's why I get that extra $1 an hour. But the way he explains it is so funny.
I can hear him explaining that. That would be funny.
Yeah.
It's funny, Joe. I picked up Joe at the airport Thursday night. So we're driving back out and heading to the keeper's house. And we stopped to buy some beer because it's about 9 o'clock Thursday night. And I bought a 6-pack of the Sam Adams season called Pumpkin Ale. And I start laughing because Joe had never seen that SNL commercial. With Bill Burr. That is.
Yeah, that was funny. I like that video. Yeah.
Oh my! So I showed them, we were laughing our butts off. But I tell you, that Sam Adams Jacko Pumpkin Ale is absolutely delicious.
Is it?
Oh, it's phenomenal. If you like a pumpkin ale, it's got a little natural sweetness to it. Oh, it's spectacular.
Huh.
We bought a 6-pack of that. We bought a 6-pack of Sam Adams, something called Porch Rocker, which is a bit of a lemonade kind of shandy. More on the beer than lemonade, but that going that direction.
Porch Rocker?
Yeah. And we actually have a song. We got a song called Porch Rocker because the summer we wrote that, I guess we were consuming a lot of Porch Rocker. And we said, let's, for an instrumental band to name a song, we got to come up with stuff. So Porch Rocker is the name of a song. And our brand new song, we just named it Dead Centipede. So it's all got meaning.
Well, when I was up there in July, one of my relatives, when St. Adams went public,
Yeah.
they invested $900 in it,
Really?
and now they have over 80 something thousand dollars in that account.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that something?
$900 became 80-some thousand.
Amazing, huh?
I suspect my financial planner is coming this afternoon, who you know as a phenomenal guitar player from Hudson.
From where?
From Hudson. You know Pedro.
Oh, Pedro Silva. Yeah, yeah.
So Pedro's going to be here this afternoon, popping in for some music, which is fun. He's what a good guy and phenomenal musician.
I gymmed with him one time.
I bet, yeah.
Him and George Betancourt and then the boys there, Paul Betancourt and stuff.
Yeah. I got invited to a couple of those by him years, and I never got to one.
It's fun.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
You should go. It's a nice thing. It's they get together. If it's in like in the summer and stuff, they do it outside in his porch behind his house.
Oh,
it's really cool. And if it's in the winter and it's cold, they do it inside. But it's really nice. You should go.
You're still doing it? It was like every Thursday night or something?
I think Wednesday night. Yeah, Wednesday night.
I'll see if I can hit up Pedro this afternoon and get re-invited.
Yeah, because it's not a big deal to go. You should go. You'd enjoy it.
I bet I would, especially with that crew.
There's a guy that Reynaldo always goes, and then there's one guy that sings.
Does Paul show up? He must be doing some singing.
Paul does some singing. He also plays the guitar.
I heard Kevin was showing up, and he always wanted to play guitar instead of drums.
No, but
that's what Pedro told me once.
But there's another guy, Kevin, that sings that goes too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, very nice. So one time Kevin was in town. Kevin Braun's his name. He was in town with his girlfriend, and he went to see us play at Silver King Brewery. And he was with his girlfriend. You know, they lived together. And then Terry was there, my wife, at the show. And those two, his girlfriend and Terry, were like best friends when they were growing up.
Wow.
What a small world, huh?
Crazy.
Yeah, so awesome.
It's funny, yeah. Oh, old friends. Joe's here. Joe, we met in 5th grade, and I've been friends ever since. And then, new friends. So Lynn and I were up at Hampton Beach Casino Ballroom a couple of months ago. We saw Get the Let Out, and we just were trying to pick this place to stand. Where, quite frankly, Lynn would have a little bit of a vantage point. She's in this area.
Yeah.
And so we stood kind of straight back from the band, just standing room on this big floor. And we're kind of around where the sound guy is. And there's kind of these theater ropes. And we just were able to find this little spot where we had quite a bit of floor space. We weren't going to get crowded right now. I'm like, this is perfect. And we ended up just like looking over our shoulders. There's a couple behind us. She and Lynn are about the same height. And we start talking to them and immediately just connected. And they go to a lot of shows, and they talked about standing there all the time just for this woman's name is Pam, her sake. I think this was the following weekend was a side yard gig, but and we just told it. He's like, "Oh man, heard about the band." Lynn brought up Still Face, and I said, "We got everyone's. You walk around with this computer and you handle all the time." I said, "Text me your address and I'll mail you a CD." And he goes, "Would love to come to the gig this weekend, but he's a DJ part-time, side hustle. He's a wedding DJ. He had a gig that weekend." We kind of kept in touch, which was fun. And then I got another friend of mine out in Wisconsin who's been telling me about this diner in Derry, New Hampshire forever. And so Lynn and I drove up to Derry, New Hampshire to meet this couple for breakfast, a month and a half ago. Great time. And have been texting back and forth and staying in touch. And they're driving down from Derry today for the side yard gig.
So from Derry, New Hampshire, what do they serve at the restaurant? Milk and cheese?
There's some yogurt and sour cream on the menu.
So I remember the first time you told me that you met Joe at 5th grade, and you guys were so impressed because 5th grade was the best 3 years of your life. Oh, shit.
Did I tell you about the time I fell off a 40-foot ladder?
How you doing?
I'm going to use that.
Yeah, actually, that's pretty cool. People ask, "Hey, how you doing?" "Oh, man, I'm not so well today. I fell off a 40-foot ladder." And they go, "Oh, no, you okay?" "Oh, yeah, I was only in the second rung. I'm fine." Wow.
That is a ride. A little scare. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so fall is, I mean, the colors are gorgeous. It's really neat to see foliage from 3,000 feet in an airplane. Wow. But it's not even, I mean, it's happening, but it's not full yet. It's really a little slow this year. I think the rain probably has something to do with that too, but it's beautiful. It's
Nice, yeah. I love the foliage season. I used to go up to Kangamangas Highway all the time.
Oh, beautiful.
Well, not all the time, but I'd go every year. I'd go for during the season, the foliage season. So cool. You ever drive that road, Kangamangas?
I don't know if I've ever done that one. I'm going to be up there next weekend. I'm part of a mastermind group. There's 6 of us in a mastermind. And we've been meeting together as a group for a couple of years. But, you know, the mastermind idea, it's different agendas to it, but it's just this confidential board of directors, if you will, and nothing leaves the room. We talk about our businesses openly, and some of us don't know each other socially because that's not what it is. And we thought we should do that. So as a group, we rented a big house up in Conway, New Hampshire, and we're calling it a retreat. We're going away, the 6 of us, next weekend, Friday to Sunday. We got a 6-bedroom house that we rented, and we're splitting up meals and food, and we have some businessy exercises on Saturday, and a speaker's coming in to talk to us about exit strategies, I think. And involved. It's kind of a get to know you weekend, which is fun because the guys in this group already are really dear friends of mine. And the 2 others I don't really know at all, and then a couple of others are just kind of acquaintances, you know. So it's gonna be a fun time. But we're gonna be right up in the thick of it. Although I think that foliage is past peak. I was up in Vermont a few weeks ago, and it was past peak. We're gone. It was kind of that rust color, which is beautiful in itself, but it's really peaking right here now in Central Mass.
So the Kangamangas Highway, I highly recommend because I think I might be off. I think it's 33 miles that you're driving alongside a river, and it's a windy road. You don't see any buildings either. It's just nature, and it puts you over near North Conway somewhere. I think is where it takes you to. But
that's perfect. Maybe I'll go that route.
Yeah, look into it. It's really worth going. I'm telling you, you'll love it.
Yeah, I don't think we're checking in until Friday at 4 or 5, and I've got nothing in the afternoon. I can take my time getting up, so maybe I'll search out that route and take it.
Yeah, look into it. It's really cool.
Nice.
Maybe we can do a podcast with you on your iPhone, going through the Kangamangas.
Oh boy,
is it Kangamangas?
Sounds like the kind of road you should be paying attention to when you're driving.
Oh please.
Paying attention is for losers.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
We ain't got time to pay attention. Says if you get to a point where you start to pay attention wants more money all the time, so you have to keep paying.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not. It's like a trap.
A bait and switch by attention.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, it's very funny. Nice. And while
what do you got going on today? What's happening down in Florida?
Today, I have a friend that is from Massachusetts there, and they have a condo here in Clearwater. So I'm gonna go there and check it out. So they come down in the winter, but when they're not here.
Yeah, you told me about this, right?
And so he has a car that he leaves here, and I go there every 2 weeks or so, and I take the car for a spin. You know, use up his gasoline while I'm doing that.
Sure.
And the thing with the condo is, for some reason, it's been like 3 or maybe 4 times where there's a water thing from upstairs where the toilet overflows or something, and it ruins the ceiling, and then the insurance has to come over and fix it.
Oh.
So this happened a few times. I said to him, "Listen, I can go check out the condo once in a while, couple times a month, make sure everything's cool." He said, "Well, I don't want you to do that." I said, "No, I don't care. It's just 15 minutes from my house, and I can go there and check it out. It's no big deal." But they think it's a big deal that I'm doing for them. I'm not. It's real simple. So about maybe a month ago, I went there, and sure enough, in the bathroom there was a water thing that, so that's like the 3rd or the 4th time.
Oh.
Crazy.
That is, well, thank God for you. It sounds a little unfortunate, but that's good.
So this time, usually if the people upstairs report it, then the maintenance goes in there because they have a key to get in, and they call them and say, "Hey, we have a problem with the leak again." But this time I was there, and I told him, he says, "I haven't heard from maintenance. I don't think they even knew about it yet until I discovered it."
And you said, "I'm maintenance."
Well, no, I'm not maintenance. I'm the viewer of the problem.
I'm the maintenance manager.
Manager, yeah.
Funny.
So when I was in Phoenix, talk about the manager, I got a job. I told you I was working at Sperry Rand Avionics, and then I got a job, part-time job at a restaurant, a Mexican restaurant. And the guy that owned the restaurant, he owned three of them, but his son was a keyboard player, and his band played in the lounge all the time. So he was selling an acoustic guitar, and I just got down there, didn't have any money. He says, "Well, you want it?" I says, "Yeah, but right now I can't afford to pay for it." So he says, "Well, listen, you have a nice personality. Why don't you come over here and work part-time as a waiter, and then you can pay me off." So I did. But my first month there, I won the what the heck was it called? It was like a competition where the person that had the highest average per customer would have that multiplied by itself as a bonus. And somehow I won.
So you're good at upsell, added dessert, drinks, etc.
Yeah, but I wasn't a salesman back then. I didn't know what I was doing. Now I know what I did. I'd go to the table and I'd say, "Hey, have you guys tried the Mexican pizza as an appetizer? It's really good." But I wasn't trying to sell. I was just, it's something that I liked.
Promoting.
Yeah, and I said, "How about a pitcher of margaritas? You guys like margaritas?" I'd bring a pitcher. And then as soon as the glass was like half done, I'd go over there and refill it. I just knew instinctively you're supposed to do that, but I wasn't a salesman, not trying to be. So the owner of the restaurant, because he owns three restaurants, says, "How in the world did you win this thing?" I says, "I didn't even know there was a competition. I have no idea." So he goes, "Well, what did you do?" I says, "I don't know." He says, "Well, you had the highest average per customer." So then I said, "Well, I tell him what I did," and I said, then at the end I'd say, "Who's ever tried deep fried ice cream?" And they did. I said, "If you haven't tried it, you got to try it. It's really cool." So I sell the dessert and stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing. So anyway, I ended up being 3 months later. They asked me what kind of money I was making on my job, and they said, "Come work for us. We'll train you to be a manager. We'll pay you more." So I went there. In the winter, I used to grow a beard every year, even when I was in Phoenix. So one time it was really busy. We had Friday night. We had a bunch of people waiting, like a 45-minute to an hour wait. And I was helping the hostess seat the people. This guy comes up to me and grabs my beard, and he goes, "Hey, you the owner of this place?" And he's grabbing my beard while he's doing it. I says, "No, no." He says, "Are you the manager?" I says, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, I got to tell you something. There's no toilet paper in the bathroom." As he's grabbing my beard. And everybody started laughing because, it was a little small room that I was like, "Wow, that's so freaking cool." I couldn't hate that guy because it was so funny.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So anyway.
Reminds you of the time you're sitting in that bathroom and you read the sign that said employees must wash hands, and after half an hour you said, "That's it, I'm going to wash my own hands."
So I did that at the Coconuts Comedy Club because one of my friends was performing there, and I went to the show and he introduced me to the owner and we're talking. So the owner was a really cool guy, and him and I got along well. So at the end of the night, he says, "Hey, what do you think?" I says, "I have a huge complaint here, and I usually don't complain, but I have a huge complaint." He says, "What's the complaint?" I said, "I went to the bathroom, right on the mirror it says employees must wash hands. I waited 22 minutes, nobody came in, I washed my own hands. I don't need you guys to go wash my hands, screw that." He says, "Oh my God, that's so funny, you should be on stage." I says, I know, and there's one leaving at 5, right?" So he said, "Well, you're funny, you should come over here and do it." I says, "I've done it before, I've done some comedies, I could come down here, make your people laugh, finally." He thought that was funny.
They're dying to laugh.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's funny.
Amazing, huh?
So I got some moving to do after this. I'm standing on top of our music studio, but I got to open the bulkhead and drums out and carpets and amps and keyboards and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
It's set up. The keeper made some beautiful chili, which is simmering behind me, and bought some burgers and hot dogs. Barry's bringing some cheese sausage. We're going to light a grill, and we should have 25 people this afternoon.
So Joe's over there working out at the gym, right?
He's taking a run, on a treadmill. He doesn't walk the door on us, actually.
So I signed up for a gym down here, and the guy wanted to, how they have these people, the trainers that want to get you on their training program, and of course they want to, charge you some money. So he's trying to tell me about his program. I said, "Look at me. Do I look like I'm in any kind of shape to work out?" So then he had this idea of me buying one of those talking scales, right?
Yeah.
So you step on a scale that says, "Please state your name." So you state the name and your age and stuff and your height, and then It tells you what your weight is and what's your weight goal. So you tell them the goal, and then every time you walk on, you get on the scale, it says, "Hey, good morning, Tony. You lost 2 pounds since the last time you weighed in," that kind of stuff.
Nice.
So I'm supposed to get on a step on the scale to program it. She says, "Just step on there. It's going to ask your name, and then just say, this is." I step on the thing. The scale says, "1 at a time, please."
Do I look like I'm in any shape to work out?
So then, as I'm talking to him, this young lady walked in that was in beautiful, beautiful shape. I mean, unbelievable. So I said, "Hey, what kind of machine should I be working on to impress her?" He goes, "We have an ATM machine in the lobby."
To impress her. We're ending on a high note today. That's fun.
Sure.
Woo.
Wow. So
It's important too, because it's been a couple of weeks. We're both pretty busy, and I think next week I'm busy again with this retreat up in Conway.
Yeah, so you were busy. I was surprised you actually did it today. I was pleasantly surprised.
It's a priority of mine.
Yeah, so we'll continue doing this. Today is the Sweet 16 episode.
Sweet 16. You're beautiful and you're mine. Well, you got me singing.
Can you do me a favor?
Never a good thing, by the way.
No, but can you do me a favor?
Shut up.
Don't sing.
As I always say, I play the drums for a reason.
No, I think you sound like you could sing.
Oh, God. They say everybody can sing. There's just untrained.
So when I played back in the 70s, I'd sing a few songs. But after I had my stroke about 6 years ago, I know it's hard to understand, but I actually asked my neurologist about that. I can't sing anymore. I sing, but I'm not in key. And I can tell I'm not in key, but it bothers the heck out of me, but I can't fix it. So I asked him, "What's going on?" He says, "Well, your vocal cords can be affected by the stroke."
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy, huh?
So this is what you're going with now? This is the story? Because that's a big, serious story just to say I don't sing. You just say what I say. No, I don't sing. This whole long, drawn-out,
Wow.
Woo.
Whew.
Not sure where that came from.
I deserved that. I told you not to sing, and then boom. You got me
This
back.
is your story now?
Oh man!
I gotta go set up for a rock show. I'm pretty excited about this. I talked about the keyboard player. We're gonna have some fun with him. We've jammed only a couple times, but he's picked up on it's fun. Adds a whole new flavor to everything we're doing. Like suddenly you get key, like wow, this is cool. So,
do you have anybody that has a nice camera that can record it and you can put it on YouTube or something?
yes, my buddy PJ is gonna be here. He'll be recording. So I think that's yes.
Yeah, you should do that. That's good.
We're gonna get you something.
Yeah.
Nice.
Would have been nice if I could have gone up there again, but.
So that's funny you say that. I'm pulling some clothes off of my dresser that kind of got a little piled up, and I pulled this pair of pants out, and 2 of those still face VIP necklace badges that you made fell off. And I go, I got 2 of these. Who should I? And I thought maybe the couple, Dave and Pam, coming down from Derry, I would, put these on them as our new friends who came the farthest to the gig.
That's pretty cool.
Don't tell Joe who came 3,000 miles, but.
Did you ever find the extra photos inside the slot?
I don't think I ever even looked. I got to go find that. I'm going to go look at them right now.
Yeah, because I think there's like 3 or 4 photos in each one of those slots. So you can take 3 or 4 of them out and buy some more of those things. Then you could have about 10 of them altogether.
Oh, that's funny.
Huh?
That is funny. I like it.
That would be like.
on my end, I was perfect with that, but I know there's a delay.
From here, I saw it.
Satellite delay.
Uh-oh. My phone's ringing.
Who is it?
I don't know.
Oh, I think you should answer that on speakerphone.
It wasn't
Hissy
on the.
Fitzone, may I help you?
Hissy Fitzone, yeah. Wow.
You must have been a caller trying to get in the air, and you hung up on him. You just lost another viewer.
You know what? That would be funny, wouldn't it? It wasn't anybody I know because there was no caller ID name.
Oh,
But I should do that to somebody. Put them
that's a
on
little
speakerphone and. Huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
well, this has been fun, buddy. I appreciate you, and I appreciate this whole venue we have. It's a good
Yeah,
time.
thank you. Yeah. Very cool.
Have an outstanding weekend. I'll keep you filled in on the thing, and I texted you that video, so go enjoy. Save me from myself.
I will. Very cool.
I just got a text message from PJ, the videographer, saying, "I will be there. Don't worry about food for me." He's a vegan. That's funny.
Oh, he's a vegan, yeah.
But I did make some plans for him around food. We made a vegetarian or vegan chili.
So if he's a vegan, don't take him to that restaurant in Derry, New Hampshire.
It's Derry.
Whatever.
Whatever.
You don't have to ruin the joke.
Always a pleasure, my friend.
Yeah, thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Take care.